offset block element included in the OctoMono bundle. So let's have a look at our live page here. So we created an element, a column with an image on the left, and then some content box at the right, another image here, another box here, and then two images here, right here. So what we want to do actually is we want to move this box so it moves on top of the image a bit. And the same we're going to do here. Instead of moving the other one to the left, this one we're going to move up. And in the case of this image, we're going to try and move this down and to the right, and we'll move this part a bit to the left. So let's have a look how that's done. Simply drop the element on the page. Drop it on the page where you want the element obviously to move. We're going to access the dashboard. And then we're going to scroll down and we're going to look for our offset block element. So now you can see here in the editor, our settings are on the left and our preview is on the right. This is just a simple preview where it will show you two blocks, the original position and the new position. Right now, the new position will always be in green. So when you move something horizontally, you can see that it moved 20 pixels to the right, and our blue one is our original position. This will be our new position. For the block that we added, we wanted to move it to the left, so we'll have to add a negative value. If you want to move to the right, you add a positive value, to the left a negative value. So we're going to add that 150 pixels to the left. You can also use percentage values, but we're just going to stick to this one for that example. We're going to save it. And once we're back in our editor, you can see that we now have an element. And all we need to do is then we need to drop it inside, just like that. Inside of the editor itself, you are not going to see this happening because it would cause some conflicts and confusion with how to edit your elements. So right here, you will only see a preview where it says offset block. On the x-axis, it will be minus 150 pixels, and the y stays the same, 0 pixels. So now if we publish this, and go to the live side, you can see this is our previous one, but when we refresh, when the page loads, then you can see that our block is actually on top of our image, just like that. That's how easy it works. So with this next block, let's just move it up. So we'll be using the y-axis for that. Again, drop an element on the page, click on it, access the dashboard, scroll down to the offset block element, and now instead of move horizontally, we're going to move it vertically. And the same with the horizontal axis. When you want to move something down, you add a positive value. When you want to move something up, you will need to add a negative value. So I think for this example, it was an image. We can use 150 as well. You'll probably have to play around a little bit with those values and check on the live page how that looks. But once you get to know of it, a hang of it, you will have an idea about how much you want to move those things around. So you can see it here now. It says offset block on our x-axis will remain the same. We keep it the same position, but on our y-axis, we move it negative 150 pixels. So let's have a preview on how that looks on the live side. Refresh this part. And then you can see here, now our box moved on top of that image. And then for our last example, we'll move both this one and that one. So one of them will move in both directions and the other one will just move to the left. So include it here. And once again, access the dashboard. Scroll down to the offset block. So we said we were going to move it to the right. I'm going to move it like 50 pixels to the right. And then I'm going to move it 100 pixels downwards. I'm going to save this. And then we're going to drop in our image, just like that. Okay, so now we have our image inside of our block where it says 50 pixels to the right, 100 pixels down. Now we're going to add one here where we're going to move it 50 pixels to the left, so negative pixels. So this image and that will look like it's nicely centered. So once again, we just drop an element, access the dashboard, offset block, and we said that we were going to move this 50 pixels to the left, so we need to add a negative value here of -50. And now we'll just simply drop in this element, and we're going to publish to view the result. Refresh here as well. And it loads. So now you can see that our image moved down and to the right, and this one moved a little bit to the left, making it nicely centered. But there is one thing. So for example, I actually wanted to have this image on top of the next one and not the other way around. For that, we need to use our Z index. So when using multiple elements, you need to specify which element you want on top by increasing or decreasing the Z index. For our element, we'll just move it to 2 because our other one will have a Z index of 1. Now we'll save this. Publish it. And now our image on the left should be on top of the one on the right whenever the page refresh just now. So now we have our image on top. By default, the settings will always revert the position of tablet view and mobile view to 0. The reason is because you can play around with it as well if you want, but do watch out. This is rather for expert settings because elements can quickly move out of the viewport. So this is something you really need to test good.